Hello everybody, 'tis I, the Rumpled One. Well, most of you know I'm doing that move to the new location, and a lot of people, said that I was lucky, and I already made a video about that. But I think I said that I would also try and clue you in and let you know how I did it, the exact steps. Kind of, because somebody out there might want to say, hey, you know what, I really like a place like that, I want to do that. Well, the first thing you have to do is you have to decide. You have to decide that you're going to do it. Because once you decide that you're going to do something, your brain will start to figure out the hows. You'll start to seek out the hows. See, everything that's been done has left clues. So if somebody's done something, you can learn what they've done and follow their path. And then, of course, you modify it to suit your own needs. Now, it's like I said, I don't do these things because think I'm all smart or bragging or showing off. That's not the point. It's just to share a little bit about me with everybody out there, so somebody might learn something and might be able to take away something to use. So the first thing is you have to decide. And when you decide, what you do is you're cutting off everything else. That's what decision is you are deciding. When you go to the restaurant and you decide on chicken, well, you're cutting out steak and you're cutting out pork. You're deciding. So when I decided to move, that was the most important thing. Way back in '89, I decided, actually before '89, I actually moved in '89, probably somewhere around '86 or '87 is when I decided I wanted to move. I wanted to move to a place in the country. Now, I grew up in the city, Washington, D.C., out in Silver Spring, Maryland. City boy. City boy moving out to the country. That could be scary if you think about it. I mean, real scary if you think about it. Especially in a small town, population less than 4,000 people, where everybody knows everybody's business. If you sneeze, then you can hear, the God bless yous from miles away. Anyway, back to the point. Make that decision, you decide. So, what I did was, there's a book called The 100 Best Places to Live in America. I got that book, I read it. I narrowed it down to 2 states based on all the different things that could go wrong. Then what I did was I decided, well, which state? Well, it was kind of a no-brainer. And then I did some research on that state, where exactly I wanted to live in that state. And just, decide till I narrowed my focus. The hows. Well, if you think about it, it's not that hard, really. You have to save up some money, get a down payment on a place, so you work. Well, I was fortunate enough, my degree's in computer science, so I had a pretty good paying job, but I did a few things on the side, kept it quiet on the down low. People don't need to know all your business, and that's one thing. Keep your business, not anybody else's. Play it close to the vest. That's something else that's really important when you're making a decision, because you're going to have people telling you, not to do it or how to do it, and you really don't need their input, because chances are they're not where you want to be. So if you're going to listen to anybody, listen to people where you want to be, not just physically, location-wise, but in life. If you want to be rich, listen to a rich man. You want to be a businessman, listen to a businessman. It's just that simple. I say that a lot, it's just that simple, because to me life is simple. You just have to pay attention. It's really not that difficult. Okay, back to the main point. So you make the decision, then you start making the preparations. Now, like I said, it's scary. You probably have some fear, and that's what holds you back. You just have to break through it. So, and the other thing is, if you really think about things, and you look at the people who are doing the things you want to do, it's not that hard. It really isn't. You think, I look at a plumber. Do I think he's smarter than me? No. It's not an ego thing. It's just, well, if he can do it, I can do it. Same thing with electricity. Most of the things in the trades especially, those guys usually aren't the brightest bulbs in the chandelier. Now, that's not a slam, because maybe some of you guys are in the trade, but it's just like usually those, Einstein geniuses, they're usually wearing a shirt and tie as opposed to wearing a bucket hat. That's what we call hard hats, bucket hats. Call them bucket heads. But, that's not demeaning or anything. It's just, some people work with their hands, some people work with their heads. Doesn't really matter. As long as you're working, doing an honest day's labor. Got respect for you. Because, sooner or later, that guy wearing the shirt and tie is going to need that guy wearing the bucket hat to build him a house or to fix his car or whatever. So, okay, back to the point. I get off point a lot. Try and stick to the point. So, you've decided, you're taking action, and you're getting over your fears. And that's the main thing. I mean, there's plenty of books, and now there's lots of videos to show you how to do just about anything you want to do. You just have to have a little self-confidence. And you see, the thing is, how do you get that self-confidence? You do something. You succeed, now you get confidence. And it builds. The more you do, the more you succeed, your confidence grows. Then you're self-sufficient. You're not afraid anymore. Not afraid to get your hands dirty, bust a knuckle turning a wrench or something, fixing your truck, or fixing your plumbing, or fixing, things around the house, or out in the garden, or out in your shop, or whatever. It's really not that hard. It's simple. You just have to do it. Because, see, when you keep doing it, you get experience, and you get know-how. You can get all the knowledge in the world off the internet, out of books, but you got to have the experience, the knowledge, and the know-how to go along with it. Okay, just knowledge alone. And of course, as time goes on, you have to invest in tools. You go to Sears Craftsman, you get all the tools they have. You might have to go to a few specialty shops, like go to Home Depot or Lowe's or whatever, but you acquire these tools. Or you go to garage sales. Not mine, because I ain't selling my tools. But anyway, so, you got your knowledge, your know-how, your experience, and you got the right tool for the job. Because if you don't have the right tool for the job, it can make the job really tough. So, how I did it was I decided I wanted to do it. I picked a place. I focused on it. That's all I did. I read about the places. Just live it, breathe it. That's all I thought about. That one purpose, that one, laser sharp focus, and that's what will get you where you want to be. It's real easy to get involved in lots of other things. You're kind of like a juggler, You've got your job that maybe you're going to, and you got your family, and you got your chores. Maybe you play sports, maybe you like to watch sports, and all this stuff starts to build up. But you see, we all get 24 hours in a day. And it's what you do with the 24 hours determines your life. So if every day you go and you exercise, for an hour or two a day, that's going to build muscles. Well, it's the same thing with anything else. You focus an hour or two a day in your free time, when you're not sleeping and you're not working, producing income. You pick one thing, and if you put an hour or two towards that every day, you're going to see results. It's going to be like a snowball. It's going to be a little tough going at first, a little slow going, but you hang in there, just like working out. First you're just lifting them little teeny weights, but you're building up your muscles, and then you start to increase, and then you're starting to lift the heavy weights. So that's pretty much what you have to do. I don't know if I can really get any more detailed into it. There's plenty of books out there. I mean, I read a lot of books about real estate, negotiations. I read about, living in the country. And the one thing I'd say about living in the country is you don't want to get on the wrong side of people. And that's easy to do, especially for a guy like me. Trust me, I rub a lot of people the wrong way. But, if they can't take a joke, well, you know how that goes. Now, the point is that, see, when you move to a new place or get a new job, so you want to keep this shut, keep this open, and keep these open. Watch and listen. Get the lay of the land, learn the politics, learn who's in power, who's got control, who's got influence, who's on the outside, and you make sure you don't offend the wrong people. You just kind of toe the line for a while. And then after you know it, then you can expand out. You know, you can keep to yourself. Don't put your business out there. They don't need to know it. I might say that a lot, but you'd be surprised how many people just blab, blab, blab their business. It doesn't do you any good. See, part to making a decision is, there's a couple ways I approach it. I think I may have talked about this before. You look at, what's the worst thing that can happen? If it's not too bad, then you go for it. On the other hand, you might think, well, if I don't do something, what's the worst thing that could happen? And that might say, you know what, I better get down and start doing this. Like, if I don't exercise, what's the worst thing that can happen? Well, muscles start to get flabby, I get old, I can't do for myself. So that's motivation to get my you-know-what in the gym or outside doing something physical pretty much every day, especially at the ranch. You really ain't got no time to rest. And anybody living out in the country knows I'm telling you the truth. That's just the way it is. So if you think about that, keep those things in mind. It'll either, keep you from doing something, because if you say, I could do something, but, I could really get hurt. Maybe you don't want to get hurt, so maybe you don't do it. Like going 4x4 on really steep hills. You could get hurt, break your truck, put you back. So you don't do it. On the other hand, if you don't make preparations, don't have a pantry stocked, and something happens, you get cut off, you don't have, $100 in small bills, and electric goes out for 3 days, and you can't get any money out of the ATM, and the grocery stores can't sell you anything because their computer controls, bar scanners won't read anything, you'll be stuck. So you might think, you know what, it just might be a good idea to have at least a week's worth of food, maybe a month's worth, maybe 6 months or whatever. That depends on you. I'm not telling you how to run your life, I'm just telling you how I think. So this video might be getting long, but it's an important topic, it really is. And there's people out there that don't know some of these things, because they don't teach you this in school. I was a student of logic when I went to college, took all the logic courses I could, so I learned how to deduce things, how to solve problems. I mean, I was a programmer analyst, see a problem, analyze it, come up with solutions, implement the solutions. And that carries over to life. You see a problem, you come up with some solutions, you implement one, and you build on it. Nothing really is that difficult, especially nowadays with the internet. It's all there, just depends on how you want to use it. So I think I'll end this video. If you have any questions, feel free to reply, but remember, I don't have 24/7 internet access anymore because I'm out in the country. And I'll try and get back to you as soon as I can. I read the replies. I appreciate them. I don't respond to every reply because not every reply, really needs a response. And I'd be spending too much time on the computer, not enough time out there working in the yard and other things. And I'll be doing some videos. You'll see me working in the yard or in the acres, whatever you want to call it, out in the garden and in the shop fixing stuff, because I got some stuff to fix, that's for sure. Be working on trucks and rototillers and the John Deere lawnmower, and oh man, I got some stuff to fix. And working around the ranch, installing some new doors, and just the whole thing, putting in the rain water system. That'll probably just be a whole series of videos on its own. So thanks again for watching, thanks for subscribing, appreciate it. Pass it around if you think it's value, and I'm going to sign off now. Until next time,